live now. We didn't
yes,
before.
we live. Whoa, like Schrodinger's stream of, yeah, do we exist when we're not streaming? Is that the existential
Oh yeah,
philosophy
like if
of
podcasters stream in the woods and nobody's there watching them, are they still podcasters?
oh, I don't know, man. I'm having a crisis now because we have no one watching us.
Have you ever really looked at your hands, Kyle?
Whoa.
What do you think is under these white gloves?
Exactly. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 53 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined on the other side of this existential podcast by Melissa Wilkinson.
Yes.
Melissa, are you even real? I've never met you in person. It's only been through a computer. So I don't know if you actually exist. Yeah. Well, I'll take your word for it.
We'll get there one of these days. Like, well, we have to meet each other in person just to like prove it. Like, neither of us have been talking to like a ghost or a centaur or anything like that.
Or a robot. Oh boy. So we had a bit of a crazy night last night, or
yeah,
I
how'd
did.
You guys do?
We survived, but we had a big storm that came through yesterday. We normally record this podcast on Friday nights. We are recording this on a Saturday night, and normally a storm wouldn't be all that bad. It wouldn't, it's like, hey, it's storming out.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can still do our thing, but it was supposed to be a really bad one, so I was kind of worried about losing power. Of just like I have a feeling that something like that is going to happen. Thankfully, it did not. But once it started storming, all hell broke loose, and this was about an hour or so before we started recording, and I should have recorded it because it was hailing for about the first hour and a half, and it sounded like rocks were hitting my windshield,
that is
and
what
it
hail
was
is.
super loud, and it was
well,
just
it's not rocks, it's ice, but it
Right.
makes the same sound as a rock. It's
a
like
water
sonically
rock.
the same. Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like, and I was like, there's no way we're gonna be able to record through all of that.
Just yelling at each other.
What was that? Why did you say speak up, Sonny? I can't hear you. But so because I have a big window right in front of me here, that I guess it's not a big one. It's actually a super small one, but we still have one, and it's right next to the microphone. And so yeah, we'd be getting all of these pew 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 pews on the windows, and that would be very bad for the audio. So I was like, you want to just do it tomorrow?
Yeah.
And like, here we are.
Last
It was
night,
wild though.
St. Louis had an incredibly mild plain night. Like, our apartment complex pool is open now for the season, and it's a nice pool.
There you
They
go.
split it off, and there's a separate family pool and then an adults only pool.
Oh,
so there's no.
What about the adults who have family?
Oh, well, they can go the other one. Like, there's.
How do they choose?
There's
another existential crisis.
And then there's like a pool for adults who want to like hang out and drink.
Okay.
So we went to the hang out and drink pool, and it was actually fairly chilly. Like, not chilly, but it's like, oh, it's only 70 degrees. The pool is too cold, so we were only there for like 20 minutes, and then we came back.
Oh man, that's
so you guys
perfect.
had this giant, terrible storm, and we're like, so mild, so plain, so unremarkable.
It doesn't really get all that humid where you are, does it?
Oh no, nope.
Yeah.
We are an exceptionally humid city.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Because we get really humid over here, and when my ex came to visit, This was back when they were still hating. It was her first time in Virginia on the East Coast, and she was like, "Oh, it's kind of humid where I live. I know what humidity is like." And I was like, "No, you don't. You
No,
really don't."
don't underestimate that.
And yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'll be fine." And so she came to visit, and she was here, and she walked outside and was like, "What is this? What? Why
Mhm.
am I like soaking wet? This is disgusting.
Yeah,
Like this is not
welcome.
good. This is not fun." I was like, "Welcome to Virginia." But yeah, because
Kyle.
I have this thing in my mind that like if you're not next to water or if you're like in the middle of the country, it is not humid. It is more dry.
You heard of the Mississippi River, Kyle?
Yes.
Well, that's us.
Okay.
We're
I
right
mean,
by
yeah,
the
sure.
Mississippi River and the Missouri River, and put them all together, it's real sticky around here.
That makes sense. I
I
guess I'm just real dumb. I'm one of those dumb kids.
It's okay. I have a Virginia question to ask you.
Yes.
So, St. Louis is a big sports town. It's a bigger sports town than usual right now because our hockey team has made it into the Stanley Cup competition. It's us versus Boston,
You
I
guys have
think.
humidity. You have a hockey team. I'm learning all sorts of things I
We've
didn't
we've
expect
got
from
it
St.
all. Yeah,
Louis.
yeah. We've got Cardinals baseball and Blues hockey.
Mhm.
And Rams football went out to Los Angeles where
Yep.
the air is dry. Who would ever want that? But we've got baseball and hockey left, and we love them very much. And the hockey team did the hockey real good, so the entire town is going wild. Like, I was driving around today, and every time
Mhm.
I saw a public fountain, like outside of like an office park or a little neighborhood sign or whatever,
Yeah.
they had all dyed the water bright blue. Like, regular water blue is not good enough for our boys. The water needs to have hockey pride. Make it as blue as possible.
Okay.
The whole town is on about this.
It- how is that? I mean, I guess none of that stuff is drinking water, so it doesn't really matter, and they can
Eh.
just filter it out or replace it or who knows what. But yeah, like how that just seems like it'd be like I feel like the city would hate that. Of just like, God, man, I gotta clean all this shit up.
I don't know. I think like sports pride beats a lot of other things around
Sure.
here. We're a very upbeat, supportive city. I was wondering, I looked at a map of the United States
Yes.
because I'm like, I don't know if there's any sports from Virginia, and I don't know what your next closest like major metropolitan city is for that to be your sports. Because I've never needed to borrow another city's sports. We've got our own. Well, I guess now we don't have a
Mm-hmm.
football. It's like some people will go for the Kansas City Chiefs or like the Green Bay Packers or a fairly close option, the
Yeah.
Bears even. What about you? Like I know
So
you are not a sportsman necessarily, but I'm just curious, like what is Virginia a fan of?
we have a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So we don't have a professional football team. I don't know anything about hockey, so I can't fill you in there. The closest football team is the Washington Redskins, but
Okay.
we get a good mix of like Redskin fans or Baltimore Ravens fans. It's like the DC metropolitan area, that whole DMV, DC,
Correct
Maryland,
me if
and
I'm I
Virginia.
thought the Washington Redskins were the state of Washington.
No, Washington,
Oh,
D.C.
okay. Whoop. I've been wrong about that the whole time.
They're on the other side of the country.
See, this is how little I know about sports.
Yeah. Um
I only
yeah,
know the
so
ones we have.
we have them. We have some good college football teams. We have
Okay.
Virginia Tech,
All right.
stuff like that, Um VCU, I don't. They have an okay basketball team. When I was a
Mhm.
sophomore in college, uh going to VCU, that was when VCU first made it into the big March Madness thing. It was a whole like,
Okay.
whoa, we made it into the tournament. Whoa, we won the first game. Well, holy shit, we're still winning. We made it to the final four. What the hell? Like, what is going? And
Wow.
yeah, the whole town just erupted and stuff like that, and it was wild.
Mhm.
So I've been in like we don't really have like a team to latch on to be like, yeah, these are our sports teams. When they win, we go
Yeah.
wild. Blah. But we did for VCU when that happened, and then I happened to be. Let's see. I lost Melissa's
Oh,
camera
dang.
for a second there. You still with me?
I am. You can hear me, can't
I
you?
can hear you. I can't see you though.
Am I
Now you're
back
back.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will continue. But a couple years before that, when I was doing all my college tours, I was up in Pittsburgh when they won the Super Bowl, and that was wild because they are absolutely football hands. They rioted, cops were out everywhere. Yeah, that was something to see.
We're a polite sports city. Like you hear tales of like I think it's Philadelphia where the fans are
Yeah.
like infamously ornery and will like throw
Mm-hmm.
batteries at the opposing teammates. We're
That's what they were doing in Pittsburgh.
no, St. Louis, it's got that Midwestern politeness and good-natured spirit to it. Like we fight Chicago a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So people will yell at you for wearing the wrong hat, but nobody throws anything. Oh, I just wanted to bring this up because, like, the other week we were talking about casinos, and I'm like, yeah, casinos are all over St. Louis. And you're like, I've seen a casino in real life like twice. I'm like,
I've
we're
seen
from a
more
big.
than that, but they were all in like Montana and Wyoming, and they were all on like Indian reservations and stuff like that. So,
Oh, I was just
or
wondering,
up in
like, I
Seattle.
I grew up around sports. Are there sports out there where you live?
Yeah.
How do
So
other
I
cities do sports?
I grew up playing soccer, basketball, and then when I got to high school, I eventually switched to lacrosse.
Oh,
Um, soccer was kind of my main thing. That's what I did most of the time. Basketball was kind of in between. Once I hit middle school, that's when I was like, well, I don't really want to work out and lift weights and do all that stuff, so I'm going to
yeah.
remain small and tiny and do all that stuff while everyone gets bigger and faster than me.
Mm,
But I still had somewhat of a natural athleticism, so I could keep up and stuff like
yeah.
that. They were that much more stronger than me, so it was like, all right, well, they can get past me and stuff like that. I stopped playing basketball and focused on soccer, which wasn't really about strength. And eventually I was like, well, I'm too small to do football, but I kind of want to hit people. So hey, I hear there's this sport where they give you a metal stick and you can hit people with it.
It's called
Can I
American
play that one?
Gladiators, and that's what I want to do.
It's called lacrosse, which is what I did. So in my sophomore year of high school, I stopped playing soccer, and I joined the lacrosse team for 2 years. Or no, not my sophomore year. I guess that was my freshman year, because I played for 2 years and then stopped and then focused on art stuff. Like, all right, I'm done. They're all bigger and faster than me.
Yeah. Wow. I've never tried a sport once in my life.
No.
No. What would I?
Not even like a bowling team or like a something
I'm
that's
not
not as like physically
remotely
intensive.
good at anything. Like
That's
even
true.
like well, in any like sport type of event, even like the
Sure.
loosest definition of sports, like bowling, putt golf, ping pong. No, I don't have it. I was given none of those skills.
I wonder if there's professional mini golf players.
Ah, dang, there very well could be.
They have to be on another level to be like, that's what I'm gonna do with my life. Be a
Mhm.
professional mini golf player. Like, hell yeah.
Mm-mm. I have no athleticism or dexterity. I will go to the mini golf just because I like the set design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no other sport that comes with set design. Just mini golf.
So I looked up professional mini golf,
Ho
U.S.
ho.
Pro Mini Golf Association, affiliate of World Mini Golf Federation.
Wow.
Here we are on the US Pro Mini Golf Association website. This is prominigolf.com.
Yes!
Oh, Team USA. Hey, the USA has a team.
Of course we do.
The Masters of Mini Golf, and it's they have a headline from back in November that says NBC visited the Masters.
Where was the Masters of Mini
I
Golf?
don't
Where do
know.
you
Let's
put
see.
something like that?
Let's see what NBC had
Like, what
to
is
say.
the mini? Because, like, there's so many
YouTube
high class, like,
is all of
very
this.
nice golf courses around the country. They just hosted the
The
PGA
team
Tour here
events.
in St. Louis last year at this big, beautiful golf course. I don't know, like, the
Myrtle
world.
Beach, South
Myrtle
Carolina.
Beach. Okay. Because I was going to say, I don't
Right
know,
down
like,
here.
where the world class mini golf spots are. Like, there's
Yeah.
ones that seem like cool and fun, but I don't know if I've ever heard somebody who does mini golf be like, that course.
I
Perfect.
I feel like you would have to hit either like really touristy cities or not even cities but towns
Yeah,
of
like a
just
Myrtle
like
Beach makes sense.
yeah, or going down to like Cabo San Lucas in Mexico if they have something down there, who
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, or like Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a Las Vegas, an Orlando,
Yeah.
someplace like that seems like it'd have good mini golf. Like
Yeah.
you can put it anywhere. We've got like really fun mini golf courses. There's one of them I went to that's open. It's all outdoors and it's open until kind of late at night. Like it opens until like 10 or 10:30
Mhm.
on like nights in the summer. So you can be out there at night,
Mini
like
golf after
in the
dark.
dark. Exactly. Yes. And like it's late enough that there probably won't really be anybody else there. So it's just you like playing around with your friends
That's
on all
awesome.
these big fake rocks and fake waterfalls at night. It's really fun.
That's amazing. I would have a blast with that.
So, jumping off from learning about the world of pro mini golf, I learned some really fascinating things the other week. I did like an internet research deep dive
About
on
what?
preppy men's fashion.
On preppy men's fashion.
Yes.
I see in our docket the go to hell pants.
Go to
I
hell pants.
I remember us talking about them not too long ago. But did you find more about them that you were like, let me share
Did
this
I
with
already
Kyle?
tell you about
I
this?
think you did.
I don't remember this.
Let me pull up the link you have in the thing here. I didn't look
Because
at it
I've been telling
again.
this fact to a lot of people, but I didn't remember if
Yeah,
I told it
it
to
was
you or
like
not.
we talked. I don't remember. I've definitely seen this. I just don't know
Okay.
where I talked about it or who I
Well,
talked
for the
about it with.
listener, if you're really baffled, I was learning
new
about
people.
I was learning about preppy men's fashion and those pants you see that are very brightly colored or like very obnoxiously patterned, like the super plaid pants.
I have
Or
their
the
website
pants,
up here. Oh, no,
yes, the
yeah.
pants that are like bright yellow and covered with like little red lobsters or something like that. Red Lobster's the animal, not the chain restaurant. Like those
Uh-oh.
incredibly loud pants are officially called go to hell pants. And that's the greatest fact I've ever learned. And
Go to
like you've
hell
got your
pants.
nice stated like blazers and Oxford shirts and braided leather belts and like your
Yeah.
boat shoes and your go to hell pants, which are supposed to be as crazy as they possibly can.
Yeah, so like it's funny because their website has a whole bunch of pictures and examples, but then they have like a whole manifesto of like, this is
What they
how you
mean.
wear them, this
Yes,
is what they
how to
mean, this
dress
is the
them, what to do
philosophy
with them.
behind them.
Yeah.
So that's so strange to
I
me.
loved reading about it. I love reading about men's fashion because I think it looks so great and it's so comparatively simple to women's fashion that I want to know how it all gets put together and what its rules are and how much you can make out of shirt, pants, jacket, shoes, like these very
It's
basic
like Taco
ingredients.
Bell.
Yeah.
Men's fashion is like Taco Bell.
You have a couple basic things. How many different ways can you combine them? And the go to hell pants are, I guess, like all the like the spicy sauces. You know,
Sure.
like that jalapeno cream sauce that they put
Yeah.
on the quesadillas or something.
That's funny. Cuz I'm not super into fashion. Or at least this kind of fashion. Like, I don't feel like I could ever pull off any of these patterns, or like
I don't
I
think
would look
so. No.
awful with
No,
with that stuff.
it's a look I admire a lot, like, honestly, the real preppy look is a look I love on a man, I find it very handsome, but it is not for everyone, like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't match everybody.
Do you remember when polo shirts were the big thing back when we were in like middle school and stuff like that?
Yes, like,
That
around
was
the
the
rise
cool
of
thing.
Hollister and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is why I like it so much because all my friends were like, that was the thing to, like, make fun of preppy kids.
Well,
Like, you
there
couldn't.
was that, but then there was also this weird like all the rappers and all the like hip hop artists are
Oh,
gonna start using it
yes.
because it's nicer, it's more expensive, and
Yes,
so if
I
you're
do
wearing that
remember,
stuff,
like,
that
lots
means you
of
have money. Yeah,
big polo shirts, yes, in that era.
yeah. That was the hell of a time,
Wow,
kids.
yeah. Yeah, oh, but all my friends were so anti-prep. This was one of those, like, middle school, like, cliche, like, we're
Oh
kids and
yeah.
we just need something to rebel against. So it's like, look at the kids with their clean cut hair and polo shirts and boat shoes.
They
Ah.
look like they listen to authority.
Exactly. So, like, I had a friend group that was so anti-prep, and so I was not allowed to say anything nice about it. As I've grown up and, like, maybe only occasionally talk to anybody anymore, and, like, nobody believes that anymore. Like, if I walked up to any of my old, like, 7th grade friends, be like, "Are you still mad at preps?" None
Hell
of them
yeah, I
ever.
am. Screw them.
This fire that will burn in me until I die. I'm never setting foot in a Hollister or American Eagle. Like, I think I love it so much because I had to secretly like it for a
Uh-huh.
long time.
That's funny. See, I'm slowly. I don't even know if I can say upgrading my wardrobe,
Yeah.
but I'm like buying new T-shirts. And like buying new jeans and stuff like that. Just slowly, like once a month, I'll maybe get myself a new T-shirt from that one company that I like, or from that YouTuber, and I want to
Mhm.
buy their merch because I like their stuff and I want to support them or something like that. But yeah, like that's. I go to work, and I work at a university, and everyone there is in like suits and ties and like button
Oh,
up shirts, and I'm there in like jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie.
yeah. That's what
And
it's
it's
like.
great.
My office is super casual. Like, there you can just show up in, like, jeans and t-shirts, or, like, if it's summertime, you can show up in cargo shorts or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like, we really don't care. And it's so funny when somebody comes to interview with us and they are
In
dressed to
like,
the nines.
yeah.
Yeah, like, there's men in, like, very nice suits. We're like, yo, buddy, like, you could show up wearing a barrel and it'd probably be okay. Like, we don't care.
Challenge: find Melissa's work. Interview in a barrel.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm thankful that they don't really care.
mhm.
But I also know, like, if I do have to do something important, then I'll at least wear like a button up shirt. But I don't.
Yeah.
It'll still be like jeans and a button up, and it's
That can be nice. You get
even
yourself
then
some
it's not like
crisp
a,
new jeans.
yeah.
As long as you have high quality items, that's important. I spend a lot of money on clothes just because I think my what I want to wear changes so frequently. I'm not like a super seasonal person. I'm not like, what are the new spring trends? I have to have chartreuse for spring. I have to have burnt umber for fall. Like, I'm not like that. I just what I feel like changes fairly frequently. Like, I don't think I hardly have anything that I bought when I was in college. Like, I've cycled
Interesting.
all of it out. Like it still fit. I just didn't like want it anymore.
I think the oldest shirt that I have right now is probably it's one that I don't wear very often. It's a white long sleeve T-shirt that I think I had since middle school.
Oh boy.
I think it was my dad's and it was a hand me down, which is why I
Aw.
don't wear that one at all, because like it's one of those ones like, yeah, it's a white long sleeve T-shirt. I can wear it in the fall or in the winter. Usually, if I have something on top of it, like a jacket or something, so it's not
Mhm.
like you're just in this like raggedy old thing. But I think that's the oldest thing I have. Besides that, I think the oldest thing I have is from college, like a shirt that I bought in college. So,
Yeah,
stuff
it's
isn't super old.
it's good to upgrade stuff. I've found I don't like t-shirts like the older I get. Like I don't want to
Interesting.
wear like I like the things that are on them, but like a t-shirt isn't like the most flattering cut. I just rather wear like a nice blouse or something like that. And I used to be the person that was like, I want to have a t-shirt for like everything I'm into. I like Firefly, I have to have a Firefly shirt. I like X-Files, I have to have an X-Files shirt. Like I
That's
had all of
that's basically me.
no,
I
like
like
that's a
Pokemon. I need to have a Pokemon shirt.
exactly
I
like it's a good way to live. Like I like the people that can do it. I just stopped ever wanting to wear a t-shirt for any events besides like I'm just going over to my parents to do laundry. And I'm gonna go for a walk. I might go to the gym. Like that's the only time I wear t-shirts anymore, so I
yeah.
never buy them.
See, I do that stuff, but I don't want like I think I have one shirt from Walmart. It's one of those ones. It's like they're $5 T-shirts, and they're all these like pop culture shirts that
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
have like I think I used to have another one, and I just don't like them. Like I
Mhm.
feel they're really cheaply made. They're usually like
Yeah.
off center or crooked, and that bothers me and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I if I do buy something from some company or creator that I like or some show, it has to be merch that I know is like top of the line.
Yes.
Like this is good stuff. It's actually somewhat fashionable for what it
Mhm.
is. It's not like, oh, you have this old raggedy old Pokemon shirt from when you were 7 years old.
I also learned to be like I learned what good t-shirts were. I used to work at a t-shirt place.
Hmm.
That was like when I first got out of college, I did a temp job that I knew was only going to last like X amount of months.
Sure.
And
We've all had those.
then yeah, I was there was a local college that had a satellite campus for its business school, and they were going to reabsorb that back into the main campus and close down these buildings. And their librarian had retired. They're like, we're not hiring a new librarian for the one semester we're still going to be open. Can we just get a temp to basically sit in there and just watch the room? And that was me.
Was it a student job? Did they like, hey, let's just see if we can pay a student or
No,
something like that?
no, because it was a
That
big
that
like
would have been smart.
it was a
I
big
feel
like
like.
commuter school, like adults were, getting their
Okay.
master's degree after work sort of thing. They just went to this temp agency, like, can we get somebody to just watch this library like for, 35 hours out of the week? So I did that first. But then after that, I worked at a pop culture t-shirt place. It is like answering customer service emails. And they had good quality shirts. They were 100% cotton, super duper soft,
Hmm.
and I was able to get them for super cheap working
Yeah.
in the office. Or like sometimes somebody would return a shirt to us and be like, "You already washed this. We can't resell it." And then it just goes into the freebie pile within the office. Like, oh, do one of you want it? You can just take it home now. So I got a bunch of shirts like that, and they were so nice and soft, and I just spoiled me for other kinds of shirts. Like I will pick up a shirt that I really love the look of, and it's just like 50 cotton, 50 poly, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like
Ugh, the travesty.
No, like, oh, I just I'm not wearing a life is too short to wear polyester blend shirts, unless it's, like, a real low amount, like a quarter polyester might be fine, but no, 50 blends are not good. I was real tempted by a shirt I saw at Target that just had the old Blockbuster logo on it, and it said, "Make it a Blockbuster night."
So
I
like certain ones like that, you have to make an
Yeah.
exception
I was so
for. Just like,
tempted, but, like, it's mostly polyester. It's
it could be like a
gonna
pajama shirt.
it's gonna breathe weird, it's gonna pill up. It's
Yeah,
not worth it.
yeah.
Just make stuff out
So
of cotton, guys.
the one shirt that I have from I think it was a Walmart is
Mhm.
a Avengers shirt,
Okay.
and it looks like one of their faces is on the chest, except it has bits of all of their
I've
faces.
seen you wear this shirt
Yeah,
several times,
I've
yes.
worn it on a number of occasions, especially on
It's
this
like a
show.
pie chart, but every
Exactly.
segment of the pie chart is a different hero's face.
I'll next time I wear it, you'll have to remind me to show you. There's one part of the pie on there. I don't know who it is
Oh,
because
intriguing.
it's all of
I've never
the.
looked at it that closely.
Yeah, I mean it's a bunch of the Avengers. Of course, this was one of the shirts that they made like shortly after the first Avengers movie
Mhm.
came out or something like that. And yeah, it has like Iron Man, Captain America, I can see
Mhm.
Hulk, I can see Thor, I can see Black Widow, I can see Hawkeye, and then there's someone else. And it's I think it's Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider!
But that's the thing.
My
Ghost
favorite
Rider isn't
Avenger!
really an Avenger. I mean, he has been in the comics recently, but
Mhm.
it's one of those things like they're all pulling from the older comics from
Yeah.
when like Ghost Rider was never an Avenger at that time, unless I'm grossly mistaken. But it's just why not like Nick Fury? Why not
Mhm.
Ant-Man, who was
Yeah.
like a founding member? Why not Wasp, who named the Avengers in the comic? Like, why
Mhm.
isn't she on here? It's just like I don't know who this is, but it also like I can see how it could be a skull, but I don't know. Maybe it is Ant-Man, and that's just a weird look at his helmet. And I'm like, yeah, I have no idea.
It's all these human beings' faces, and then they're just the Punisher logo. Just like
Yeah,
part of that.
who
Not
knows?
Punisher's face, but his logo's face.
Yeah, like it has this like it looks like a white like cheekbone thing,
Oh.
and then there's
Mhm.
like a red outline and a yellow outline, which is why I think, oh, maybe that's fire.
Huh. Oh,
So
weird.
it could be the white is the skull and there's fire, but I don't know. But Ant-Man doesn't really have yellow and red in his costume at the same time. Like, yeah, I
Mm.
don't. Who
T-shirt
knows
mysteries.
exactly? Melissa,
Yes.
I got to play video games with my mama.
How did that go?
It went pretty awesome. It
Good.
was on Memorial Day. I had the day off, and she is retired. Both my parents are retired.
Mhm.
And my mom likes doing stuff with me,
Oh.
whatever that may be. She likes watching movies when we're all there at the holidays and stuff. Excuse me. But she has a not great attention span. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's the right way to phrase it. She just wants to do a million things
Yeah,
all at the
moms are
same
like
time.
that. Like, they'll suddenly remember, like, I should really put a new box of baking soda in the fridge to keep it fresh.
Exactly. And she'll
Yeah,
just get up in the middle of the
yeah.
film and just go do and it's like, do you want us to pause it? Okay, we're pausing. You go, no,
Yeah.
don't pause it. I'll figure it out. No, you won't, Mom. You'll just talk the entire time, and then while we're talking, you'll miss the parts we're talking over. Anyways, um, streaming is a big. I mean, we're live on
Yes.
Twitch right now. You guys can follow us at twitch.tv/the Whatnauts.
We are there.
And like I like the idea of streaming video games and stuff. I don't think I'm cut out for it by myself
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I feel like I would need someone there with me to, because I'm the type of person who just sits there and like zones out and like will focus on the game.
Mhm.
I'm not talkative. I don't want to interact and stuff like that, you know. But my mom, I've had conversations with her about both animation and video games, and she doesn't really understand them that much.
Yeah.
But she knows that I like them, and so she often wants me to like show her some stuff, or like, hey, what movie should we be watching now? What can we watch when we're all together as a family? You know, stuff like that. And
Aw.
so I've always done movies and stuff like that, but with all this streaming stuff, I can be like, hey mom, I can actually stream myself playing video games and you can watch those stories.
Aw.
And she liked that idea, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick a game we could both play, or you could watch me play, that I think you would um like, but also one that I think you can participate in some to gain her interest, or like not have her get up in the middle
Mhm.
of,
Yeah.
you know, I need her to be there. So I went with Life is Strange, which is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
And we played episode 1 on Memorial Day, and surprisingly we got through the entire thing
Hey.
in about 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. And she really liked it. I streamed it out to her over YouTube. It was a private stream, so no one would pop in and be like, "What the hell is happening here?" Um, but yeah, she made all of the choices. I would sit there and wait for her to tell me which
Aw.
one, and she'd be like, "Oh, that one. Oh no, wait, now we need to go back and do this thing." So I think she really liked it, and I think
That's sweet.
tomorrow sometime, as of recording this, we're going to start episode 2 of that game. So I
Nice.
fingers
Yeah, I'm
crossed we
very
can get through
glad
the whole thing.
I'm glad your experiment has been successful. I'm glad you and mom are having fun.
Yeah.
I had a good weekend with my mom. We went out to brunch and we went to the history museum.
Yeah.
We
You
saw
mentioned
the
that.
Yes, we saw the exhibit about the Muni, which is our local theater here in St.
Hmm.
Louis. It started as the Municipal Opera a literal century ago
Oh wow.
and became this summer musical theater. It's this big, beautiful outdoor amphitheater, seats like almost 11,000 people, and you watch these big, like Broadway quality musicals. There's a series of 7 of them every summer,
Hmm.
and it's been going on for almost a century. I mean, they weren't doing Broadway musicals in like 1919, but it became this, several decades ago. And there was a exhibit all about the history of this theater.
Nice.
Beautiful, amazing stuff. Like so many old costumes and props, and they talk about how there'd be this is Tevye's milk cart from Fiddler on the Roof, and we used it in this production, and this production, and this production, and then we repainted it, and this carried all the newspapers and newsies, like how much work goes into it and how much stuff they can reuse and how much has to be like completely original. There's a wall of all the stars that have ever
That's
been at the
cool.
Muni, all of its program covers going back like the entire history of the thing.
Oh
I can
nice.
look and see like, oh, that's what the program looked like the first year I was ever there. And I can look at all the new programs. And they started a couple years ago doing an individual cover for each show instead of just a general one for the season. I'm like, yep, I have seen 22 out of 26 of these shows. Just a real, this is what I nerd out about very hard, is all the stuff that goes on at this local theater. And it was this beautiful, heartwarming, like piece of St. Louis history that and like this was like early on a Sunday morning. It's like maybe 11
Hmm.
a.m. on Sunday. The place is still like really not crowded, but like it's decently populated. Like this really draws a crowd. It's really a part of our culture around here about as much as the baseball and the hockey and the beer and everything is, and the humidity too.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So you went out to brunch with her. When you get brunch, are you a more breakfast person, or do you get like
Oh,
lunch stuff?
no, why get lunch stuff? You could do that any old dang time. Breakfast all the ways. Always. All of
You
it.
could get breakfast any old dang time.
No, like I can't like I could get a club sandwich so many more times than I could get like an egg and bacon sandwich.
I don't know why they keep allowing me to get the club sandwich because I'm not a member. Rest in peace, Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, dang.
Mitch,
Oh, Kyle, that's so noble of you to not let me go on thinking that was your joke.
no, that's Mitch Hedberg. It's one of my favorites. And immediately when you said that, it popped in. It popped in my head, and I was like, I need to.
I went to a donut shop in Chicago once that has printed at the bottom of their receipt, I don't know why I need a receipt for a donut.
That's funny.
I had to break the news to some friend like last year that he had died. And this Mitch
You didn't
Hedberg,
know?
yeah, Mitch Hedberg had died many years ago, like early 2000s or something. Like he was already dead by the time I ever found him. And I
Mm.
had a friend that had like seen clips of him online and like heard his joke. And he's like, yeah, I really love that guy. I'd love to see him sometime. I never hear about him touring. Like there's a reason for that, friend.
Yeah.
I've had to do that to him multiple times. Like
That's so funny.
there was a movie that came out a couple years ago and he was saying, "Yeah, I read Roger Ebert's review of this movie." Like, "Hold on. You didn't read Roger Ebert's review. You just read a review that was on Roger Ebert's website." And he's like, "No, I think he wrote it." I'm like, "No, he didn't. He died in 2009." There's just one of his film critic friends is
Reviewing
continuing
movies
his
from beyond the
legacy. Yeah, it's like
grave.
that's not what he thought about the Jamie Foxx version of Annie. He can't think anything. Well, he could, and we just don't know. Like, what a use of a Ouija board. Like, I could talk to any historical figure. I could talk to my grandparents, my ancestors, murder
What'd you think
victims.
of this film?
Like, I just asked Roger Ebert, like, can you see Endgame from the
Roger,
afterlife?
if you're there, can can you tell us?
What did you think about Detective Pikachu? Roger, please.
We need to know.
Do you have Steak and Shake? Have you ever?
No.
Okay, Steak and
I
Shake.
mean, I know what they are. I've
Okay, good.
heard of them, but no, we don't have one
Okay,
of these
good. Because I know
coast.
that, like, I don't think you guys are like Shake Shack,
I
don't
don't even
you?
have Shake Shack.
There's, oh, dang, maybe that's another like West Coast thing. There's, you must have some other diner equivalent out there, but here in the Midwest, we love Steak and Shake.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were going through the drive-through in Steak and Shake, there's all these posters for like our famous like griddled steak burgers and try our fries and
Sure.
like world-class rated milkshakes and all this stuff. It includes quotes from Roger Ebert about how much he loves Steak and Shake. Like he wrote a critical review of Steak and Shake and it was all glowing reviews and there's one part that says if I was to have dinner with the president and I was allowed to pick, it would be Steak and Shake.
Well, it's a step up from McDonald's.
So I always have a special fondness in my heart for him for just like how much he sincerely out of nowhere just adores Steak and Shake.
That's great.
I'll have to take you to one. Like there's nothing very special about them except for the fact that they are a great deal and several of them are open 24 hours. So you
There
can
you go.
roll in and just get yourself some chili mac at like 2 a.m. should you need to.
Good stuff.
I had a friend come to visit me from England, not directly from England all the way over here. She was doing a study abroad program at a school in Pennsylvania and
Okay.
then came to St. Louis for a weekend. And the first place I ended up taking her was Steak and Shake because they didn't have them where she was in Pennsylvania. There on the East Coast, you don't got them. So I took her to Steak and Shake. and the waitresses were like so delighted, like, "You came all the way from England to go to Steak and Shake," and she's like, "Well, I didn't just come here for this." And like I think the waitress like brought the manager out, and she's like, "Wow, a real
She
Brit in
came
my Steak
just
and
for
Shake."
you, manager. See, I would be that guy if I was the waiter and was like, "Wow, you came all the way here," and she's like, "No, I didn't actually come all the way here." I would still be the one who went and got the manager, and then just be like, "She came all the way for you." and everyone's just like, "Ah, no, don't." I'm just like, "Hey, you deal with that." I'm gonna slide away. Yeah, we don't have Steak and Shake. We don't have Jack in the Box.
What?
Uh,
I thought Jack in the Boxes were everywhere.
no, they're more like Southwest, from what I
Really?
understand. Yeah.
Dang. It's
We
good.
have one that's, from what I understand, is only in like Virginia, North Carolina, and I think South Carolina too. Some state right next to us. We have one called Cookout,
Oh, I've
and
never heard of a cookout.
it's a little fast food restaurant. It's usually only a drive through, the ones that I've seen. But they have everything. They
Ooh,
have burgers, they have quesadillas, they have hush puppies, they have shakes, they have hot
hush
dogs, they
puppies.
have
Wow.
tacos. Yeah, they have all sorts of stuff, and it's like dirt cheap. Like
Yes.
it's just like, I don't know how it's that cheap, but when you get their like their combo, it's like you can get a burger and a hot dog and a side and a drink for like $4,
Hot
and
dang.
it's all actually really good. Like
You
it's just like I don't understand. Like, this shouldn't be that good.
I'm
it's
gonna get
it's
myself out there
cheap
one of these days, and you gotta
fast
take
food.
me to see the wonder that is Cookout. And if you get out here, I'll show you the wonder that is Quick Trip.
I yeah, we don't have that.
Quick
We
Trip is world class. It is
Or at least not that I know of
it's a
around here.
gas
We have
station
Wawa.
chain.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
Wawa. Wawa is God's gift to Earth.
oh, you never been in we're gonna have to compete though, because I think a Steak and Shake is a quick Steak and Shake is good. A Quick Trip is real magic. Like they're little havens, they're little oases. I would go out of my way every time to go to a Quick Trip over anywhere else.
Do you guys have Whataburgers?
No,
Because
that's a
we
little
don't,
bit farther,
and I
like
miss
west and
those.
south than us. I've
Yeah,
had
those are big in
Whataburger
Texas.
once when I went to visit Sam in San Antonio. I had a
Hmm.
Whataburger,
Yep,
and it was
I
very
love
good.
them. They are good. So you
Whataburger,
asked
Taco
me
Cabana.
you
They've
asked
got a couple
me
other ones.
a Virginia question.
Yeah.
I have another St. Louis
Ho ho.
question for you,
Yeah.
also kind of in regards to food and things that you guys might do. Um, I was listening to the latest episode of the Kind of Funny podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about pickles.
Yes.
Do you guys eat pickles at movie theaters? Do they sell pickles at your movie theaters? Is that a thing?
What, just like the pickle in a tube?
I just like a big jar of them that you can buy, and they can like scoop one out with tongs,
Oh,
and
there are not
you can
like
just
served.
eat a pickle.
There are not served to you pickles like that. I don't think I have seen that. That might be again like a little bit farther south of us. We
Because
don't have it.
that like I so they were talking about it because one of them was like looking for a pickle at the movie theater, and then remembered, oh yeah, that's not something they do here in San Francisco. and
Where
and
do they
and
just give
everyone
you a
else,
pickle in a movie theater? I've
he
never heard of this.
so this was Andy Cortez, who was the one who was like, I want a pickle. But he's from Texas, so they do it
Huh.
down there, and so
I
like upon
I could
hearing that, I
believe
was like,
that being a
I've never
southern
heard of
thing,
that.
yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of that. And so
No.
I texted someone that I knew grew up in Texas. I was like, is that a thing? And they're like, yeah, that was a thing. I guess I never really did it all that much, but yeah, that was the thing. I was like, that's so weird to me.
We don't have that, but there is, I don't know how big of a
They
chain
were all
this
making
is.
fun of him. Like, why would you want a fucking pickle? What's wrong with you?
What a loud, wet, slimy snack. Like, enjoy a pickle, if you please, but it's just weird for a movie theater
Yeah.
specifically.
Well,
Have
he
you
was
ever
saying
seen
it was
a
a good combo of the salty buttery popcorn
Okay,
with
that
this
I can believe. That makes sense.
I don't like pickles, so I guess they're sweet or
A
something.
pickle can be whatever it wants to be.
Sure, yeah.
Have you ever heard of a video rental store chain called Family Video?
Think so.
Okay, I have no idea how far spread this chain is. I might be naming something that is only in Missouri for all I know, or maybe it's in 30 states. I have no way of well, I guess I could Google it.
Internet is your friend.
Kyle, Google Family Video for me while I talk, please.
Family video.
It's a video rental store, and they've got, ton of snacks, candies, chips, a little, freezer container full of ice cream bars, like
Hmm.
popcorn tubs, things
Yeah.
like that. They do sell individually packaged pickles, where it's like the tube, like the clear plastic pouch full of brine and a big pickle in there. And they're almost like Otter Pops, and that there's different like colors and flavors. Like you've got uh, Little Orphan Blue or Napoleon Orange. I have very fuzzy memories of Otter Pops. I'm gonna have to remind myself about them. That they'd be
By
like,
the way,
it's Big Papa Pickle and Little Dilly Pickle.
oh goodness. All right, so Family Video, according to Wikipedia, is a video rental chain located in the United States and Canada.
Oh,
And it is headquartered in Glenview, Illinois, has
okay.
approximately 700 stores in North America, with the heaviest concentration in the Midwest.
Okay. And
But
I
you
looked up
also mentioned Otter Pops.
I looked up Otter Pops. The Otter Pop characters are Little Orphan Orange, uh Strawberry Kook. I can't read all of these. Louis Blue Raspberry, Sir Isaac Lime, Alexander the Grape. That's who I was
We
trying to
never
name.
called them Otter Pops. I never even knew that like half of the population knew them as Otter Pops un, until like 6 years ago.
Well, the thing is that Otter Pops is a specific brand of Freezy Pop.
Yeah, so I knew them as Flavor Ice.
I think Flavor Ice
But
is just another
I
brand
just
of just tube with
yeah,
sugar gel in it.
I always just called them Ice Pops, but like that was the thing. Like I was so young that I was like, oh, this is just what everyone calls them.
Hmm.
But I was a Flavor Ice kid. I don't trust those otters.
You're afraid of Alexander the Grape's conquest.
Yeah. Who's he gonna conquer next? So you went to go see live action Aladdin.
I did
Melissa,
do this
tell me
week.
about that.
Yes, yes. We've prattled on for so long. I forgot I wrote down like legitimate, timely news items on our list. Yeah, I just texted a friend I hadn't seen in a while, like, "Hey, do you want to come hang out soon?" She's like, "Yeah, do you want to go see Aladdin with me on Tuesday?" Like, very specifically.
Mhm.
Like, all right, sounds like a good time to me.
You're like, hell yeah, you ain't never had a friend like me.
Exactly. Aladdin was one of my. It was a movie I liked a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And like my
Still great.
memories actually kick in after like my big fascination with it, because I think this was my favorite movie when I was like 2, 3, and 4. And the earliest movie I can actually remember really liking is like the Pocahontas phase that came after that.
I
But
had my
according to my
Pocahontas phase.
yeah, according to my older brother, like He would get home from school and I would make him sit down and watch Aladdin with me every day.
There you
So
go.
I really liked it as a kid,
Hmm.
and I really liked this live action adaptation. Like there are a
Nice.
lot of things that it does very well. Like there's some things that are like that just don't match the original animated version you're so fond of, like, in the Prince Ali song, Genie doesn't say 100 bad guys with swords any
100
longer.
bad guys with swords.
Yeah, like just saying swords doesn't have the same charm to it. So there's things that are missing, but there's other things that this movie did that I thought were like great improvements, and it's so
Interesting.
pretty. Like
Yeah.
I like Disney has already done this run of live action adaptations, and I think people have long since like soured on that trend. Like they're tired of them, they think they're unnecessary. This is the one that I think needed to be live action the whole time, because just Agrabah feels alive now. Like the original
Yeah.
movie, like it's just so like sandy beige
It's
colored, and there's
yeah,
like
it's
a
very
couple
empty.
yeah, there's a couple stands and a couple background extras, and like you don't sense that anything is off. It doesn't feel empty. Well, the first time I saw the trailer for this, I'm like, oh wow, Agrabah feels really alive. It's so colorful, it's so vibrant, it's so lively.
They
Like
kind of
just what it
had
does
to
to the
though. Like if
setting.
that's
Yeah.
if you're doing a live action version of that, I feel like you have to take influences from all of those cultures, from Bollywood,
Yes.
all of that stuff where it's just the like everything is ornate, it is packed, it is busy, stuff is happening all over the screen. Like I yeah, they like they had to make it like
Yeah,
that. So
it's
I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, it was absolutely worth it for that, and I knew I would enjoy it on a like a visual level.
Hmm.
I like a lot of the changes they do to the story as well, like not to go
Interesting.
too deep into it, but like Jasmine has this lady in waiting now who's like a fairly major character, and she's really charming and she really adds something to the story. And
Hmm.
oh, like there's more of a conversation about why does Jasmine need to marry some man for him to become the Sultan? Why couldn't she be the Sultan? Wouldn't she be far more qualified than
Yeah.
any other prince or whoever she would marry? She's a lot more like actively engaged in caring for her community, which is something I really liked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the chemistry between Aladdin and Genie? How did
It's
Will Smith do?
I think he did pretty well. Yeah, I was listening to a Disney podcast where the guy who went to see the movie was saying, I feel like it took like half an hour for everything to get going. I feel like nothing
Interesting.
clicks until they're in that cave of wonders. I think, yeah, from like Friend Like Me onward, then everything really works. I think the best character is Carpet. No disservice to anybody else who's an actual speaking person. Carpet's the best. Carpet has always been the best.
Yeah.
Oh, Alan Tudyk is the voice of Iago
Hmm.
because of course he is.
Yeah, I remember when he got cast. I was like, all right, I can see
I
that.
didn't I didn't remember hearing that, but I see it in the credits and like this makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
I like how the Disney family just accepted him with open arms. Like, how many different things can we put Alan Tudyk into? He's gonna show up in a Marvel movie next. That's the only other realm that he needs to be in. Or he's
He's
gonna be a
not been
voice in
in one?
Kingdom Hearts. No. No.
Yes, he hasn't.
Oh, he was in that DC TV show.
Powerless. I
That one.
remember that. He
Yes.
was
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's cousin.
Yeah, he's like a distant Wayne cousin who's like the leader of he's like some CEO, but he's super bumbling about it.
Yeah, that show was not all that good.
I saw like one episode and I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Like
I could work with this concept."
it was a totally fine concept, but then it just wasn't
Yeah,
executed
it felt
very
like
well.
very traditionally sitcom-y
Yeah,
as opposed like I feel like
if they had actually gone the route of making it more like Parks and Rec or The Office or
yeah,
something like that would have been fantastic. But
I
it was
think
more of like, hey, this is a sitcom. and we're gonna
Mm,
make a joke and pause so you can laugh, and then we'll continue on. And it's like, all
yeah,
right,
there's sitcoms have
that's not
really
Marvel stuff.
devolved in style. Not to completely jump away from what we were talking about, but yeah, there's like I think after The Office, like there's two diverging paths and you pick one or the other.
There's like the Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother style sitcom, or there's the like docu sitcom,
Yeah.
which I guess they're not really making one of those shows now, are they? Unless I'm, because
Oh.
when The Office hit, when like season 2 and 3 started
Mhm.
coming out of the Office, and everyone was whoa,
Yeah.
watching it. That was when like Parks and Rec was starting to get started.
Mm.
We also there was one, I don't remember what it was called, but it was the same kind of thing. It was a little more sitcom-y, but it was I think it was called Outsourced, and it was about a
That
company
sounds
that
familiar.
outsources all of their employees to this like Indian company.
Mhm.
And yeah, that one was awful. It was so bad. But yeah, they had a whole wave of those like docu sitcoms. We're gonna sit here and look at the camera when they say something awkward, and is it
Kyle,
starting
you
to rain?
you sent your storm over here to me. Can you hear that?
I did for like a split second.
Okay. Well, I guess the audio's not that bad then. Yeah, this is loud. Hoo boy.
I can hear that. Yeah,
We actually had a tornado last week.
really.
Yeah, yeah. Do you get those?
We don't. We get hurricanes though.
Oh, you're too close to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nope, this is tornado country.
Yep.
But
Middle of the country.
and it was bad enough that like my parents texted all us kids like, "Are you guys all good?" I'm like, well, I live in a third floor apartment, so I guess I'll just go into the kitchen. I guess that's the sturdiest place I have. Let's cook dinner.
Yeah. Just make some food. You'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. There is the joke of whenever a really bad storm comes along, no matter how bad it is, Midwesterners are just out there on their front porch just looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
No,
exactly.
I have a good friend in Oklahoma,
Oh
and
yeah.
she, I guess they had a tornado or two like a week or two ago, and she was showing me a video of this thing. And yeah, there's just people outside just watching it. I'm like, I aren't like, will they go home? Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, no, they're just gonna sit there and watch it. And I was like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
whatever.
Well.
Yeah, I can kind of hear it. We'll continue on.
Yeah,
Who
how you
cares?
feeling about this audio? Because I can't judge.
We don't have that much more to
Okay.
go.
All right.
Anyways, I did want to ask you
Mm.
about more Pixar stuff. Have you seen the new
Yes!
trailer for Onward?
I did see that. I'm so excited for this one.
So I didn't know this was in the. I mean, I know they're always making more
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that, but I this is the first I've heard of this one.
I think I tried to tell you about it once. That might have been something that got put
It
on the docket and knocked
probably
off.
went
Yeah.
in one ear and out the other. Um, but yeah, what did you think?
I'm very excited for this. I'm a big fantasy nerd. This is one of our dividing points. I
Yeah,
know you're
I'm
not.
I'm not.
I love fantasy and I love the suburbs. And there's plenty of urban fantasy out there, but not a lot of suburban fantasy. And this, I really
Looks
liked
like
it'll
scratch that.
every little gag they put in this trailer. I am intrigued about what the story is going to be. I remember hearing that when Pixar pitched just the plot summary of this movie to Chris Pratt when they were casting him,
Mhm.
he cried at the summary of the plot. So this seems like this is going to be one of those gut-punching Pixar movies.
Oh man, yeah, it looks like the concept looks like, what if we take all these like fairy tale creatures and just put them as human characters in the suburbs? What if instead of raccoons getting into your trash, it's unicorns.
Yeah.
What if instead of dogs as pets, you have dragons?
Mhm.
Stuff like that. And yeah, I think it looks good. Has Pixar ever done a buddy cop film? Because I feel like that's what this is gonna be.
Uh,
They're gonna go on, it's his brother and him gonna go on a quest, is what it sounds like to me.
Kyle, would you not classify Toy Story as a buddy comedy?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, sure. I guess you could. I don't know. I
I think of it as one of the classic buddy comedies. Like, you got your like Lethal Weapon or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Men in Black. I don't know. Toy Story goes up there.
Yeah. That I mean, yeah. Guess you're right. I don't know. I feel like the whole thing of like the family aspect
Mhm.
behind Toy Story
Okay.
like shines through more, if that makes sense, and that's why
Yeah.
it didn't initially come to mind.
I'd
But this,
consider that a buddy comedy. Inside Out is almost a buddy comedy in some regards.
yeah, this I think more specifically because they are in a car going on
Yeah.
some journey.
Yeah.
It's these brothers that about to do something. I like that's what's like. Okay, this is going
Mhm.
to be a buddy cop somehow, some way. Who knows
Mhm.
exactly what? Maybe they'll venture out into the forest and find humans, wild humans, in their
Well,
natural
they already
habitat.
The Good Dinosaur already had a wild human. It was a dinosaur with a human for a pet.
Yeah, but what if they're like, I don't know how this fits into the Disney Pixar theory of how they're all connected, but I don't know. Maybe they do something
Yeah,
like that.
I'm very intrigued by this. This seems like a different direction for them. Like they've never. I was saying like they've done a lot of other buddy comedies. This is a setting and like a set of tropes they've never really played with
Yeah,
before.
I think it'd be good.
Hmm.
I I'm always, I shouldn't say always because there's still some I haven't seen. I'm always up for watching Pixar films. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily go see them in theaters right away though.
Mm. Yeah, I have also missed the last couple ones. Like my dad looked at a trailer for Coco and he's like, I'd
Yeah,
kind of
I
like to
I
see
haven't
that.
seen that one.
So I didn't see it in the theaters because I was like, oh, I'll go see it with my dad because we used to go to the movies all the time and that's just sort of dropped off
Hmm.
now that it's so much easier for him to watch any movie at home and he doesn't have to leave his recliner
Yeah,
and his 60-inch TV he already has. But I miss the experience, so I'm always trying to get him to go to the movies with me, and we did not get out for Coco. I'm hoping I can get him out for either Endgame, maybe Rocket Man. Rocket Man seems like one of those movies I could convince my parents to go see. I
there
don't
you
care
go.
what it is. I just wanted
There's
to
certain
have my
things
parents take me to a movie again.
we we have a different kind of blockbuster culture
Mhm.
now. Like they're when Steven Spielberg was in the height of making like this is the summer blockbuster and stuff like that. Like it was that one you just went to go see it, whatever it was, and that was it. Now I feel like we almost get that year round now,
Yeah.
but and so we kind of lost it. But then I feel like even now we're starting to make a new blockbuster. Are you following me here, or am I a crazy
I no,
person?
I think like summer is still the time for movies, but you can also have like a massive hit that feels summery like any time of year. Like
Well,
Pacific
I don't
Rim was a March
necessarily
movie.
need it to feel summery, but like
But
this
like it's
idea
on
that
that
big
level of big
movies can
action
come
adventure
out, yeah,
blockbuster. Yeah.
in the fall or in the
Mm.
winter, or stuff like that. But I feel like we're just starting to make a new kind of blockbuster. Like we
Yeah.
have the Mission Impossible Fallout, we have the Avengers
Yeah.
Endgame, we have we have stuff like that that are starting to like I don't even know what you would call them or how you would describe them, But yeah, like they're almost on another level. Like this is one you need to experience in the
Yeah.
theater. Like I don't mind missing something like, I don't know, what's a movie that's coming out. I don't. That's not a Marvel one. I don't know. I'm so behind on all of this stuff, you guys. So that, like, this movie that is out recently, Bright Burn.
Mhm.
It's a superhero, almost like a spoof on a like an Elseworld Superman story. It looks like, what
Yeah.
if Superman was bad when he was a kid? Like, I don't
Mhm.
necessarily need to go see that in the theaters.
No.
I'm interested. I might wait
Yeah.
till it's on Netflix or something. But Endgame, hell no! I am watching that in the theaters.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like there's certain ones you just need to go
Yeah, like,
experience.
and I think the at-home experience is becoming so much stronger
Hmm.
at the same rate, like, the pop culture zeitgeist and, like, spoilers and, like, something light like Endgame is also becoming stronger, to where there's very good reasons to go out and see a movie soon as you can, and also very good reasons for, I will be completely fine waiting till I can watch it at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, I'm a big moviegoer. Not in that I go terribly often, like, in a year, I probably do see, like, a dozen movies, so maybe about once a month, but I make a big production out of it, like, I'm excited to go to the theater. I don't just pick whatever's closest. I, like, pick a day, pick a time. We're going to that theater, even if it's not very close, because we
Hmm.
like that theater the best. We're gonna get dinner. We're gonna make a whole day out of it. I like to go out and do a movie, but also there's like I looked at Dark Phoenix. I'm like, that seems like it might be a rental for me because I've never had because that's the type of movie I always go see in theaters. I'm like,
Hmm.
what is it like to just watch it for the first time in my living room with my friend and we can turn to each other and talk about it periodically throughout the movie instead of waiting until the very end? Let's try this one time. Let's
Yeah,
try the
there you
novelty of watching a movie at home and not in the theater. And other
go.
times it's like, okay, I don't know if I've got $12 for that, but give me a couple months and I'll definitely have three.
Yeah, red box it or something, you
Yeah.
know. Um, Continuing in the Disney wheelhouse, Melissa, I'm sure you want to talk all about this. What is going on with Galaxy's Edge?
Dang, Kyle, we might even have to save a lot of this for next week. There's too much to talk about
If
with
if
Galaxy's
if
Edge.
if you just want to
Like,
give me the basics, because
okay,
I know it just opened, so I'm sure
okay,
there's going to be all sorts of stuff still
yeah,
coming out this
we can
next
cover
week
the bullet
as
points, and
well.
then there's going to be so much more coming out over the next week. Like, it just opened yesterday. This opened May 31st.
Hmm.
I have watched a lot of videos, like, from people who got in early, people who got in the day of, media people, regular people, all kinds.
Yeah.
The land is gorgeous. It's so deeply world built. It's so intricately detailed and immersive. It's big too. Like it's set kind of far apart from the rest of Disneyland because it's only the Disneyland one that's open. Disney World is coming later this summer. It's
Hmm.
far enough away that you can't see anything else from Disneyland around you. You can't see the
Interesting.
castle. You can't see the Mission Breakout or
I guess
anything.
that was to keep the immersion.
Yeah, yeah, that's something Disney's really big into. Like, you're not
Right.
supposed to see the landmarks from any other area when you're in another area. You can't see Big Thunder Mountain when you're in Tomorrowland. Like, it's supposed to be very sectioned off to make sure you're always in that mindset of wherever it is you're supposed to be. And they've done that with Galaxy's Edge. Like, it's big, it's kind of down this mysterious winding path that becomes more and more sci-fi like the longer you walk on it, and you're really dropped in there. Like
Hmm.
there's like if you look down at the ground, they have patterned droid tracks into it.
Nice.
Like they took like the real wheel from like a R2D2 model and sort of ran it through the concrete while they were designing this whole thing to make it look lived in. Like it looks grimy. It
Yeah.
looks like you are on just
That's
some
that's big for
junky
Star Wars
Yeah. Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You need to make it look lived in and
Yeah. It's
stuff
just
like
some
that.
junky desert outpost,
That's
but
good.
in a really fantastic way. Yeah, the walkways are all big, which is
Well,
which is a weird thing to compliment, but,
news
like,
this week: the headlines, the walkways are big.
but I'm mostly
More at 8.
fascinated by this as just a logistical concern. This is gonna be wildly popular.
I'm
This is
sure.
gonna be
Yeah.
slam packed for, like, the next 2 calendar years, and the
Yeah.
big question is, how is Disney going to deal with that? How are they gonna try and lighten the load as much as they possibly can? And I'm looking at this land, and it is, like, there are wide spaces, like, there's lots of little nooks and, like, walkways where people can, like, step aside if they need a break, and I watched a video of somebody walking through the queue to get to the Millennium Falcon ride, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, this queue keeps going. This building is so big so that they can put all of those people in there and they don't have to stand outside. Like,
Yeah.
how much of the line can we fit inside this, like, shaded, air-conditioned building? Like, that's so, like, it's artistically fantastic and also like, okay, this is looking logistically sound. Like, this looks like they were really smart about building this, not just creatively, but like in a guest services capacity.
There you go. Good. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Cool looking merch, cool looking snacks.
They could
Yeah.
have a lot of interesting stuff you could get there and eat. I'm excited. I've been to. I see. I'm not enough of a Disney fan to know which one's which. Which is the Disney one down in like Orlando and stuff like that? Is that Disney
That's
World or
that's
Disneyland?
okay. Disneyland is the one in California that was built first.
Okay,
You
so
have to
I've
have
been
a
to Disney
land
World.
before you can have a world. Disney World is the big one that was built in Florida after Disneyland.
Okay, yeah. So I've
Yep.
I've been to Disney World then a couple of times. Um, it's been a long time, but yeah, it's fun. It's yeah, it's
It's a dream.
immersive. It's crazy. Like I would love to go to the Star Wars thing. I would love to whenever they get their like Marvel world all set up and all of that stuff. Yeah, just
Okay. Not to rain on your parade, but the thing, Kyle, is that because of the Marvel park that's already in Universal Studios Islands
they
of
don't have the
Adventure in
rights to
Orlando.
all of them. I've heard about that.
Exactly. Yes. So that's why they're building a Guardians of the Galaxy ride down in Epcot because those are characters that really did not hit it big until the MCU
Hmm.
and the or Universal Park was built before that, and that's a lot of the other big characters that were bigger throughout history, like Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, all of them, X-Men. That's already like they can take anything that Universal did not already cover. So that's
Yeah,
why they're like, okay, well, nobody believed in Guardians of the Galaxy until like,
you know,
2014. So here we go.
after like a year of this Star Wars thing, they're gonna be rolling in even more money than they're already
Mm.
rolling in, and I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Hey, we want to buy the rights back, and we can start putting it all back in and stuff
They're
like
gonna
that."
do it in Disneyland and in, like, some of the international parks, like Paris and Hong Kong, I
Hmm.
think. And, yeah, that is, like, a longer term plan, I
Yeah,
think, for
that
Disney
would
World. Like, once
make
all the
sense.
rights are figured out, then we can get to the rest of them. But that Guardians coaster they're building is supposed to be the biggest indoor coaster in the world, and the building is crazy huge, and I'm so excited.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
apparently, also on the Kind of Funny
Mhm.
podcast, Tim was recently at Disney World, but so all right, so the Kind of Funny podcast, they do this thing where their listeners are their quote unquote best
Uh-huh.
friends. So there was like, hey, best friends, something something something, and that's kind of what listening to the podcast is supposed to feel like. You're just sitting
Yeah.
down with your best friends talking about stuff.
Mhm.
And apparently, the Star Lord, like the good one in all of the Disney stuff, is a kind of funny best friend.
Mhm.
Whenever they do advertisements with the Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Lord is in there, he's the one that they
Ooh,
use. Like all of the advertisements and commercials and all of that stuff, he is the good Star Lord.
nice.
And so Tim went there and he got like a whole bunch of like behind the scenes tours and all sorts of stuff of just like, hey, you might not know this, but there's what's the is it in? It must be in Coco. I don't know. What's the one that has the like iguana or the chameleon? The chameleon character. Come on, Melissa, don't fail me
That's
now.
Tangled.
That one, sure. Uh, I don't know. Uh,
You just
so
got it like a whole studio in several years wrong.
you know what? I literally just said I'm not the Disney fan here. I don't know what
Okay,
is
this
happening.
is what I am here for. This is my
Yes.
purpose on
Yes,
Earth.
exactly. But like they have a bunch of the like miniature statues
Mhm.
of him just sitting out there, and he was like, in this section, there's 14 of them. Can you find them all? And it's also planned out so when you're looking at one, another one is not within your view or stuff like that. Like they are all in like completely different sections and stuff, but it's not something you would like really like. It's not like a big statue to Superman that they
Yeah,
have. It's just like it's tucked
little
away, it's
guys.
hidden. Yeah, you have to like be looking for them, like be in the know to know where they are and stuff like that. So he was told a whole bunch of that stuff. I was like, oh, that's neat. That's cool. I've not been there in so long.
They are full of Easter eggs like this. Like,
Oh yeah.
don't get me started on Disney World stuff. I could talk for a long time.
I'm sure you
I'm
could.
gonna come back next week with more Galaxy's Edge findings, especially because Podcast The Ride, my very favorite podcast for theme parks or any other topic,
There you go.
they didn't do the regular Friday episode because they're like, we are going to Galaxy's Edge on opening day. You'll hear from us on Monday. We tried to record like live in the parks, just on like, I don't know why I'm doing the phone gesture. Like they've got
We're
like little
90s
battery
kids.
pack, like little battery pack microphones and lavaliers that they're walking around trying to
Yeah.
record with. So we're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear like everything from them. So I'm gonna get more of a firsthand perspective than I'm getting from these like promotional videos and vloggers and things. So I will come back next week with a ton more findings on Galaxy's Edge.
Sounds good to me. I say we wrap this up.
Yeah.
We have been talking for a little while. Ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, patreon.com/the Whatnauts is where you
Yes,
can throw us your
dollars.
life savings. Throw us all the dollars. We would like to give a big shout out to Sam and
Mhm.
Christine for supporting us at the $5 tier. You guys help keep the lights on, keep the mics on, and stuff like that. We appreciate you guys. Let's see. We have live streams of the review show you can get at the $1 tier. You can get all our episodes early. At the $3 tier, you can get all of our exclusive content. Coming up in the next couple weeks, we're going to be recording an exclusive episode on Mob Psycho 100 Season 2
Mhm.
because we've already covered it we've already covered Season 1 on a past episode of the review show that is out public to everyone. But let's see. What else did we do? Gravity Falls.
Yes, this
Tell
is
us
a
about that one,
summertime
Melissa.
show. Kick off your summer, watch season 1 of Gravity Falls and
It's a
listen to
great
us
show.
talk about it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. We also have an episode of the review show coming up on Flavors of Youth. It
Mhm.
is a short anthology film which you can watch on Netflix. It is 3 little anime short stories
Mhm.
all packed into one. You and I are going to be recording that tomorrow.
Yeah.
We also did. I really liked that we did this, but last week here on the Captain's
Yes.
Log, we did E3 predictions. I'm a big video game fan, but Melissa,
No,
Not so much.
I'm not. I don't know anything about him.
So I asked you to be my magic 8-ball
Yep.
and be like, is this going to happen, Melissa? Tell me. And that was a lot of fun. So we'll check back in a couple weeks here when E3 is all done. Some of this stuff is already out there. We already have
trailer,
answers. Yeah, we already have a new Death Stranding trailer and a release date. Hell yeah. That being said, the whatnauts.com is our website where you can find out more. Melissa, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT.
And I am at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find updates for this show or any of our other podcasts at the Whatnauts on Twitter. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. Subscribe, like, share, sell your soul. Do what you need to do. Go leave a review or something. Who knows? We'll be here next week. Yeah. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Adios.
Bye.
You there. Thank you for watching that episode of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. If you liked it, go subscribe to our channel up there. Go watch one of our other videos down there and tell us in the comments below which one you like better, Disneyland or Disney World.